Hey everyone, I've thought a lot about why I wanted to start this channel and I decided to make a YouTube video about it. So when I first started parkour, I went online searching for someone like me, someone older, unsure, or maybe just starting out, but I couldn't find anything. No one was out there showing what it's really like to do this. So I thought, why not become the person that I was looking for? Hi, I'm Shelly, and welcome to Vaulting into Midlife. This is where I share my 11-year journey in parkour and what it's like to be part of this wild sport in your 40s and 50s, especially as a woman. So back in 2014, I wished I could have found someone who looked like me, someone attempting this crazy thing called parkour. Now, I wasn't really looking for tutorials or highlight reels, the polished stuff. That wasn't really what I was ready for anyway. I wanted the real stuff. I wanted someone who could talk about how it feels to start parkour as a middle-aged woman. There's the fears and the doubts and the days when you just want to quit or you just don't feel like you're fitting in. But also those tiny wins, the small victories that maybe make you think, well, okay, maybe I can do this after all. Parkour is so much more than physical movement. It's about what happens in your head and in your heart while you're trying. So in the videos that you see online, you don't see the struggle behind these movements. You don't see the frustration or the self-doubt or the years of practice it took to get to where I am now. And you definitely don't see how much those struggles can change you mentally and physically. There were so many days I just wanted to give up. But progress isn't linear. It's messy and it can be really frustrating. But the struggle is just as important as the success, and that's what I want to show here. So I've wanted to document my experience for many years. At first, I thought about starting a blog. Then I wanted to do a podcast with my training partner. I had these grand ideas of recording conversations about parkour and traveling together, traveling to other gyms to try out their classes and maybe review them, and even interviewing other women our age who were doing parkour. But podcasting wasn't her thing. She wasn't really interested, and I didn't want to do it alone. And I tried Instagram for a while, but it just didn't really feel like the right platform for me for what I wanted to share. So more recently, I started thinking about a YouTube channel, and I went back and forth for a long time. I kept writing down ideas. I couldn't get it out of my head. I'd get excited about it, but then I'd talk myself out of it. I'd think, oh no, I can't do this. It's too much work, between my full-time job, taking care of my mom who lives with me, and managing my large garden, plus everything else, that you have to do in life. It felt overwhelming. Plus, I was intimidated and embarrassed about being on camera. But eventually I realized that my hesitation felt exactly how I felt before I started parkour for the first time. And I thought, if I don't at least try, I may really regret it. And so here I am, but it hasn't been easy. I have just a phone to record with, which is fine, not a big deal. I have a small ring light that mainly just reflects in my glasses. You won't believe what I went through just setting everything up. I don't have a good private space to record other than my bedroom with one small window for light. I have furniture stacked on top of each other that's holding, my notes and everything and my phone. So just trying to figure out a space to record and a time when I wouldn't be interrupted and the TV wasn't on downstairs was frustrating, is frustrating. And then there's the issue of recording at the gym. So I do have a tripod now, but it can be difficult to set up in the middle of a busy gym, and it doesn't follow me around. So I can really only take shots of me doing something in a very small space. I want to make videos of me demonstrating things, but it can be difficult. Plus, it draws unwanted attention from people asking me what I'm doing, and I'm just not really ready to share what I'm doing just yet. I do sometimes ask people at the gym to record me, but they are not, they're there, for their own training. They're not there to be my camera person. Recently, my son came with me to an open gym, and he recorded for me, which was really nice. And he's going to do it again, but it still takes a lot of time to set things up and plan shots. And plus, he has his own life. It's not like he can do this all the time. So, most of the video I've shown so far is pretty old. Some of it's several years old. And I know it can be hard to find a parkour class. Some states don't have any, but for some reason, I'm lucky here where I live. I have 4 parkour gyms within a 5-mile radius. And I'd love to make videos showing some of the basics and the exercises you could do at home or in a park when the weather gets warm, or for those people who can't find an instructor or a gym. But again, filming things like that on my own is pretty tough. I've thought about trying other classes, even like a Ninja Warrior class or some kind of circus type class even, and make videos. But again, I would need someone to record for me. This is why I really wanted my training partner to do things like this with me. I still want to visit other gyms and talk to the owners and the instructors and the adult students about their experiences, and maybe try their classes and make videos about them. I have all these big ideas, and I just need to figure out how to make them work. But this channel isn't just about a woman in her 50s doing parkour. It's about showing what's possible when you commit to something, that even when it scares you, including starting a YouTube channel, which was very scary. It's about sharing the ups and downs, the real journey, in the hopes that it inspires someone else to take their first step, whether that's parkour or something completely different, like country line dancing, like my new friend Brenda over at Busy Over 60 is trying out, or an art class or a pottery class. Anything really that you've always thought about but struggled to commit to. And I started this channel for a more personal reason too. Lately, I felt like I'm just treading water. Like I'm stuck in a cycle of trying to hold on to the skills I've already built. Ever since 2020, when COVID shut down the gyms for months, I've been struggling to get back to where I was. Even after the gym opened back up, we had to wear a mask for like a year and a half, which made it difficult to train as hard as I did before because I just couldn't breathe in it. Even now, I haven't been training as hard or as often, and it's been kind of frustrating. A lot of other things happened. A lot of other things happened between 2020 and now that deserve their own video. But basically, life happened, and that spark I had when I first started, and for the first few years, it started to dim a little bit. And as I get older, regaining strength I've lost from taking a break, either from illness or other life events getting in the way, becomes harder with each passing year. So starting this channel feels like a way I could possibly reignite that spark, a way to hold myself accountable, a way to push myself to try to keep progressing and to share that process with you. And another reason for starting this channel is the amazing training partner I mentioned earlier. She's my best friend and someone who made parkour so much more than just a sport or activity for me. We started parkour together, and she motivated me in ways I didn't even realize I would miss so much. we had this friendly competition where if one of us learned something new or could do something the other couldn't, well, the other had to try it. I just couldn't let her be the only one that could do it. We'd spend hours talking about everything, like techniques and fears and goals, the instructors, the new instructor, the new person in the class. And we'd ask each other, do you think they will come back? They seemed like they had fun. I hope they come back. All of it. And on the days that I didn't really feel like going, she was the reason I kept going. She was the reason I showed up, because just knowing that she was going to be there, expecting me to be there, motivated me to get out of my chair and get dressed and go to the gym. But then she moved out of state and everything kind of changed. So training just really wasn't the same without her, and the classes didn't have the same appeal. And I started to find excuses not to go. Without her encouragement, I kind of lost some of that drive. And honestly, I've been searching for that spark ever since. And that's part of why I started this channel. It's not the same as having a training partner at all, but it's a way to share my journey again, but this time with all of you. It's a way to connect, to talk, not just about parkour, but of other interests and struggles we all face putting ourselves out there, and growing older. And to feel that sense of community that I've been missing. If you've watched any of my videos, I'm an introvert, and she was sort of like a link between me and the other people in the class. She made it easier for me to connect with other people. Over the years, I've tried to encourage others to give parkour a try, both women and men, but especially women. I've even worked at one of the gyms that I attended and ran a few low impact parkour workshops, and I taught classes for a while. My goal was to build a community of women, mostly women, who supported each other and shared this passion. I had this vision of a group of middle-aged adults coming together to act like kids again and supporting each other as we, progressed and got stronger. But it didn't really work out. I struggled to find people willing to join my class. And then just a couple of months after I started, COVID hit. And then when the gyms opened back up, many people were reluctant to come back, and I didn't have enough people to support the class. But that dream of fostering a supportive and inclusive community hasn't left me, and I hope this channel can be a step toward making that happen. But the passion doesn't have to be parkour. It can be anything, because I know parkour is not everybody's cup of tea. It's about finding something that excites you, challenges you, and makes you feel alive. And recently, I've been encouraged and inspired to take that support even further. So Tracie from Life in the Wild West saw one of my videos and made a short about it. And honestly, I was shocked. I was so surprised. It gave me a real mental boost that she would take the time to do something like that. And her encouragement reminded me of how powerful it is to have support. And it's something I want to pay forward through this channel. And I also watched a video from Imogen at the Number One Ladies Club where she talked about supporting other small channels. And I thought, that's just such a fantastic idea. And she's planning on mentioning 3 small channels at the end of her videos to help support them and build a sense of community. And that's something I want to start doing. So whether it's parkour, starting a YouTube channel, or chasing a completely different passion, I want to encourage and support other women, especially women, but men too, who are putting themselves out there and trying something new. And finally, I really want to document as much as I can and what I can remember over the past 11 years of doing parkour. Some of it I remember like it was yesterday, and there's, I'm sure, lots of things I've forgotten, but I don't ever want to forget what I have experienced. So if you're watching this, I hope it resonates with you. Maybe you're thinking about starting something new or picking up a passion maybe you've let go of. And if you are, I'd love to hear about it. Please let me know in the comments.